Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome back to Wayne State University for the 2017 Athletics Hall of Fame. My name is Jason Clark, and it is my pleasure to be the Master of Ceremony for today's event. On behalf of Wayne State University and the Department of Athletics, I would like to welcome each of you to the 42nd Annual Athletic Hall of Fame celebration. Today's event is an opportunity to showcase the very best of Wayne State athletics, and it gives us great pleasure to have all of you share in this very special occasion. Now I would like to briefly introduce the Hall of Fame class of 2017. I will just ask that each of you stand and be recognized. First, Miss Cassie Chetsky, diving. Miss Sara Franklin, swimming. Miss Sharon Gill, tennis. Miss Casey Haynes Rommel, softball. Mr. Donald Urban, football, track, wrestling, and golf. And Mr. Michael Wiseman, baseball.
On behalf of the entire athletic department, I also want to congratulate all the inductees. This is quite an honor. This is our 42nd class, and it now brings to 237 of you so recognized, and that's a pretty elite group over 100 years. There's not a coach in here who won't tell you they repeatedly get calls from high school coaches about a great student athlete that they should take in their program. Now, first of all, a warning about that. If you've got a high school coach calling you and telling you it's a great recruit, there's a problem. Because if they're a great recruit, somebody's already found him. It's usually a coach who's pushing a good kid that might have played for them, or reacting to a very vociferous parent who says, you better get my student a scholarship, or maybe a student of a PTA member who's taken an active role in the athletic high school board. So when there was a message that said, we've got a great student athlete for you, named Sara Franklin, and it came from a coach at Cairo, well, assistant coach Peters, head coach Peters and Bryce Pitters were kind of in question, should they even make the call? I mean, how often does that happen that you call and you find the next star? 99% of the time, it doesn't happen. But in the case of Sara Franklin, it's that 1%. The coach was from Cairo High School, and the two coaches said, they don't even have a very good swim program. They don't even have a good club program up there. And Bryce said to Sean, I don't even know where Cairo is. Well, luckily, Sean had just bought a Labrador puppy from up there, and he mentioned the puppy was damn good in a doggy paddle. So he says, you know what? Let's give her a try. And so they invited Sara Franklin in. They got her on a book scholarship. She was a raw talent. But guess what? She became a 5-time national champion. She was a 16-time All-American. But when she came in, she was a raw talent. Had to work on everything. In her first year, she just swam relays. But by the time she was in her junior year, she became a national champion. In fact, she also was a national champion on numerous relays. At the conference meet, she was the 3-time backstroke conference champion and won 9 more relay championships at the GLIAC championships. When she made a pledge going into her senior year that she said, I'm going to lower my time in the backstroke by 10 seconds. Now, for you you in the crowd who don't know this, the 100-yard meter backstroke is up, down, 4 links. And her goal was to reduce her time by 10 seconds. We're talking conference meets that fractions of a second decide the winner. She reduced her time by 9 seconds. And her record at the NCAA meet stood for 3 years after she set it. It's funny how things come around. A few years ago, I was in the swimming office, and I was talking to Bryce Pitters, the assistant coach, and I said, hey, what do you got to do? And he says, oh, I got to return some calls to high school coaches. And I said, oh. I said, great student athletes? He goes, I don't know till I call them. But if one of them is Sara Franklin, I've hit the jackpot. Well, just a reminder to the 2 swimming coaches and every other coach, there's now going to be a plaque in the Hall of Fame to Sara Franklin to remind you that those are important calls to return.
Miss Sara Franklin, please come forward. Sara's citation reads in part, Sara Franklin was a 4-year swimming letter winner, 2007 through 2011. A native of Cairo, Michigan, Franklin ended her career as a 5-time national champion and a 15-time All-American, including 13 first-team All-American certificates. A 2-time national champion in the 100 backstroke, she was also a 3-time national champion on relays, twice in the 200 medley and once in the 400 medley. At the 2008 NCAA Championship, she earned a pair of All-American honors by swimming on the 200 medley relay and 400 medley relay teams. The following year, she earned 3 All-American certificates by leading off the 200 and 400 medley relays and set school records in both of those events. She was a 6-time first-team All-American in both 2010 and 2011. She was the first 2 national titles in her junior campaign, winning the 100 backstroke and leading off the 200 medley relay. And then at the 2011 NCAA Championship, she set the meet record for the 100 backstroke at 52.9 and led off 2 relays that also set meet records. As Rob mentioned, all 3 national records stood until 2014. In her 4 years at the GLIACs, she won 3 consecutive 100 backstroke titles, along with 9 conference relay titles. She was a 3-time GLIAC champion in 2010, winning the 100 back and 200 and 400 medley relays, which set meet and pull records. And then as a senior, she won 4 GLIAC titles, the 100 back, as was mentioned, for the 3rd consecutive year, with a school and a GLIAC record, and was also part of 3 championship relays. She earned her degree in elementary education with an emphasis in cognitive impairment and was named to the GLIAC All-Academic Team in 2010. President Wilson, it gives me great pleasure to present Ms. Sara Franklin for induction into the Wayne State University Athletic Hall of Fame.
So I don't love speaking in public like Cassie, but I practice my speech in front of my students. And they gave me a couple of hints. They said, Sara, just don't be nervous. I said, thanks, guys. Do you have any hints on how I can combat that? And they said, just pretend that we're in the room instead of everyone else. So you guys are all 1st through 3rd graders right now. My swimming career started when I was in the 2nd grade. My parents were divorced, and we moved up to Cairo, and I wasn't keen on the idea of living in such a small town. But my Grandma Brown said, well, we've got a pool there, and you can walk down the halls with wet hair because you can do swim classes. And that's kind of what got me on board to swimming. My first coach was Woody Crutchfield and his wife Stacy, and you guys are the ones that really got me to love swimming. You're the ones that got me to switch from basketball to swimming when I was in the 9th grade. I showed up to Woody's golf club and asked him if I still had a spot on his team. And he told me that I always had a spot on his team. So thank you for instilling with me a love for the sport. I'm extremely thankful to them and to Woody and Stacy for giving me an open door to Wayne State. Woody's the one that made the phone call to Bryce, to Wayne, and Bryce thought, well, sprinters are a dime a dozen. I don't know if I should invite this girl. But then he mentioned that I was a backstroker and I was pretty talented. It was my recruiting trip that made me decide that Wayne State was the place for me. The camaraderie on the team, the friendships that I saw were phenomenal. Cassie hit the nail right on the head when she said that it was a family. Sean has done a great job with instilling that in his team, along with all of his coaching mates. At Wayne, I had amazing team members, among them Hall of Famers Ashley St. Andrew and Elena Hogel, Ashley Weaver, Julie Danaher, and Lacey Lafayette, who's never missed a sporting event for me. I was always supported by them. I was also supported by people in my conference that I swam against. Megan and Maura Donahue, Sarah Riley, Kim Bogman. We always raced against each other, but we knew that it didn't matter about the race. We needed to support each other in our competition and our personal growth, and that's what we did. The coaching staff here at Wayne was also so supportive, and they weren't pushy. I think that's partly why I was able to grow as much as I did in my collegiate swimming career, was because I never felt the pressures of doing amazing things. I was always just encouraged to do my best. I never felt that I had to win every race or become the national champion. I just felt supported. It was the lack of the expectation put on me that I was able to excel as much as I did. We practiced hard, we played hard, but no expectations were explicitly stated. Because of this, I was able to find my own goals and fulfill those goals. But it wouldn't have been the help. It wouldn't have happened without the help of Bryce, and Sean, AJ, and Kelly Bedron. I'm forever thankful for the people who have stood behind me in my athletic journey. I'm thankful for Woody and Stacy, Sean Peters, Bryce Pitters, Cowley, AJ, my mom, my Tim dad, my dad, my Grandpa Brown, my brother and sister, and my amazing teammates for helping me along my athletic career. I'm also thankful for the great training staff here at Wayne, for Rob Fournier. This is an amazing accomplishment, and I'm honored to be inducted to the Hall of Fame. Thank you.